Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Kay Bacayao, and I am running to be your next U.S. Senator from Georgia. My first goal is to pass just and constitutional laws to secure liberty for all Georgia and U.S. citizens. And that starts with reading the laws. I will not vote for a law that I haven't read, and any law I vote for will of course be in line with the powers of the federal government as defined in the U.S. Constitution. I will not vote for any law that violates our Bill of Rights. I'm also going to need to repeal unjust laws. I'm going to work to repeal all the unjust laws that have been passed in the last 10 to 15 years. There are so many of these laws, and this will be my top priority. It's the job of Congress to keep the U.S. president in check. Congress is charged with ensuring that the president does not expand the executive branch beyond the powers outlined in the U.S. Constitution. This has been and continues to be a huge problem. We have to be prepared for any outcome in the presidential race. I am ready to take action and protect the people of Georgia from executive orders and the failure of the president to enforce the laws passed by Congress, such as the very important immigration laws. Job one is to get the United States out of debt. I am proud to live in Georgia, where our Georgia state constitution prohibits public debt. We should leave an inheritance for our children, not debt. This is a very large problem, so I will address it right away. Spending bills originate in the U.S. House of Representatives, but then they go to the U.S. Senate. I will certainly not vote for any spending that is going to increase the debt. What we need to do is get serious about paying off the debt. One place that we could start would be to sell off all the federal property in the western states, of course to American citizens. There is no constitutional basis for federal ownership of land outside of Washington, D.C. anyway. The Federal Bureau of Land Management needs to be eliminated and all the holdings sold to American citizens. On taxes, my father always said, the power to tax is the power to destroy. The U.S. tax code is very complicated. That's because it seeks to control citizens and businesses through incentives and de-incentives in the way taxes are calculated. The founders envisioned a free people with limited government. Work is its own incentive, but the tax code interferes with the connection between productivity and wealth. That needs to change. A reasonable and low proportional tax for citizens and businesses would solve so many of the problems created by the IRS and a complicated tax system. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, not the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court justices are appointed by the President and confirmed by the Congress. In recent years, activist justices have attempted to legislate from the bench, usurp the legislative role of Congress, and disregard the original intent of the U.S. Constitution. Since these individuals are not elected and serve for life, it is very important that the President work with the Congress to select judges who will rule according to the supreme law of the land as written in the U.S. Constitution. If the President selects inappropriate appointees, Congress must step up and stop the appointment. It is a solemn responsibility, and I will vote no on any Supreme Court justice who thinks that the Constitution can be reinterpreted. It is the constitutional duty of Congress to set uniform rules of naturalization. It is not the duty of Congress to fund certain immigrants, thereby playing favorites, as they have done with the Refugee Resettlement Program. This is an example of an unjust and unconstitutional program that needs to be repealed. Unchecked immigration and amnesty can destroy our nation. Amnesty would allow individuals from other countries to disrespect our borders and our uniform rules for naturalization. We cannot allow that to happen. As your U.S. Senator, I will make sure that we have uniform rules for naturalization and that those rules are enforced.